All right, everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you how you could use your cheap bead roller and like a Harbor Freight or Woodward. This is a Woodward Fab bead roller or Eastwood's, something similar. And you could actually put beads on tubing. Like this is thin wall 2-inch aluminum tubing. I put this bead on. This is 2.5-inch steel exhaust pipe. I rolled this bead on here, no problem. I even went down, this is 1.5 inch steel exhaust pipe and put that bead on there. I think that's probably about as small a diameter as you could go, 1.5 inch, maybe a little bit smaller if you go with aluminum. You actually, if you own one of these bead rollers, you have just about everything you need to do this without buying anything. As you can see, I've got a 1/4-inch beading dies on here right now. The male die is obviously too big to fit into any of these. Well, it'll fit in here, but the problem you would have trying to roll a bead using this large die, it's got such a large footprint on the roller, on the male roller, that it would have a hard time actually deforming the metal and rolling that bead. If you're going larger than that, I guess it would work, but the limitations are it's such a large roller. Well, anyhow, when you buy your bead roller, like this one has it's threaded on the end with 10 millimeter for 10 millimeter bolts. They come with a washer and a bolt just to, I guess, to make adjustments for the depth of the bead rollers side to side. And what I'm going to do is actually use that washer as my male die. Put it on that bottom shaft on this one. Tighten that up, and then we'll, because this is such a small diameter, we're going to have to shim underneath the jacking screw to get it to go down far enough. So I have a piece of 1/2-inch bar stock that I just lay on top of the bearing block. That seems to work pretty good. And then what we're going to do is adjust this. Adjust this upper die, the female die, till it's right in the middle of the washer, and then just tighten it down. The piece of 2-inch thin wall aluminum tubing, I put a mark around the circumference just to guide me to start with. Nice little bead there. You don't want to go too deep on the thin wall stuff, especially the aluminum. It will crack, but makes it nice inside and out. All right, like now I'm going to put the bead on this 2.5-inch exhaust pipe. I like to mark about 3/4 of an inch from the end all the way around, just to give me something to go, a guide me to go straight. I use the outside of this face here of this upper die along that mark, and that seems to work pretty good. So I'll start out just with light pressure, and you could do it in several steps. And there you go. You don't have to go crazy on the depth. This is going to be like if you were using this for coolant tubing, for example, you're going to slip over a radiator hose. That's more than sufficient to retain, when you put the hose clampy on the hose behind this to keep it from popping off. Same with the boost pipe on your turbo setups or blower setups, intercoolers, whatever. Aluminum works so much easier. But as far as the die here, like I said, I use the 1/4-inch beading die, and this washer is what came with the Woodward Fab bead roller. I didn't do anything to it. I didn't even radius the edge of it. It seems to give it a little bit of traction, being rougher, but there's no problem inside. It's not didn't tear it up. Not even on the aluminum. Makes a nice. I don't know if you could see that, but it does a nice job. Anyhow, I hope this helps. You don't have to go out and buy a special tubing roller if you've already got one of these cheap bead rollers. You've got everything you need right there. I've got it obviously on a powered bead roller. You could do it with a manual one just as easily. Well, not just as easily, but you could do it. And if you're interested in how I did the motorized this bead roller, I'll put a link in the description on how I did that. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. There'll be more tool videos, and also I'm working on my old 1950 F1 truck. I'll be doing a build thread on that, and I appreciate any comments. Thanks for watching.